The second sutra of the Samadhi Pada, Patanjali Yoga Darshana, Patanjali Yoga Sutras, is the definition of yoga. What yoga means? How Maharshi Patanjali defined yoga. And it's a very wonderful, popular, well-known sutra known to all the yoga enthusiasts and the yoga sadhakas. And the sutra goes like this: Yogash chitta vritti nirodhaha. Yogash chitta vritti nirodhaha. There are 4 words in this: yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodhaha. What yoga is defined in this? As we saw in the first sutra, yoga is samadho, samadhi. And what is that? And when defined, what is yoga? It is chitta vritti nirodhaha. It is. We should be very clear in understanding these 3 words. What is chitta, what is vritti, and what is nirodhaha. Once we understand these 3 words, then we will be clear what is the meaning of yoga. And we should also remember that yoga is not only the goal, it is also the path. Yoga methods for the yoga state. To attain the state of yoga, practicing yoga methods. This is a very important dimension. The methods also are called as yoga, and by the methods what the result will come is also called as yoga. And that's why we should be clear in understanding this particular sutra, the definition of yoga. The first one is the chitta. Chitta is all the functions of the mind, all the activities of the mind, all the various dimensions, expressions of the mind. Swami Vivekananda translates this word chitta in English as mind stuff, the base of the mind, the root of the mind, the substratum of the mind. In English, of course, there is no correct translation for the word chitta. So we will use, or we have to use the word mind. When we say the mind, commonly understood, normally we know that there are 3 states of the mind: the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the unconscious mind. Conscious mind means we are conscious of everything. We are aware of so many things. Subconscious mind, without our external effort, extra effort, subconsciously things are done. The process of digestion is there. The movement of the eyelids are there. Then the deeper layers also, subconscious activities are there within the mind. Similarly, unconsciously, there are many things happen unconsciously. Even while we are sleeping, things are happening. Chitta is all these functions and activities, expressions happening in chitta. So it is something which is the common to all these 3 things, which is the base of all these 3 things, which is the foundation of all these 3 things. And that is how chitta is to be understood. And traditionally it is said that this chitta gets disturbed gets activated, gets into functional mode because of its nature. When we say the nature of the chitta, then what will be the nature? It is said that, and you should know that, the nature is of three types. As all of us are conversant, the three types of the nature, the qualities, the three qualities, sattva, rajas and the tamas. Sattva guna, rajo guna and the tamo guna. The chitta has all these three gunas. So its functions, its expressions, which are called as vrittis. So there will be vrittis. The cause of the vrittis is because of the nature of the chitta. And for clarity, the nature of the chitta is made of three qualities. So we may have a conclusion, a clarity that the vrittis also have qualitatively three qualities. Yes. So then what is vritti? Vrittis are modifications, functionalities. To be more clear, functional modifications. That is the vritti. Means the chitta, when it is disturbed or it takes the functional modification, which is called as vrittihi. Just to be clear, to understand a little bit more clearly, just visualize, for example, a sheet of water, very quiet, calm, serene, and in that sheet of water, a small dust particle will fall, or just a wave of breeze comes. What will happen? We find ripples. And these ripples are concentric and also circular. A concentric circles. These concentric circles, which were not there earlier, but which are expressed now, which are seen now, which are felt now, which are visible now, are because of a touch. But the water took the shape of the vrittis. That means chitta took the form of the vrittis. In fact, it is said that, and we will know that, we experience that, the chitta takes the form of experiences. Chitta takes or becomes the functional modification. Chitta becomes a vritti. Though vritti forms in chitta, but chitta takes the form of the vritti. Means, though vritti forms in chitta, chitta becomes vritti. It's a very, very important understanding we must have as a yoga sadhaks, as a yoga practitioners, as a yoga enthusiasts. Chitta vritti. Earlier, vritti was not there in a calm, serene chitta, but chitta takes the form of vritti. And this clarity makes a lot of difference in understanding the definition of yoga. And once this modifications or the functional modifications expressed, visible, formed, experienced in chitta, or as they rose in that, then what is yoga? Yoga means nirodha. That expressions of the chitta or that functional modifications in the chitta are to be stopped, or to be blocked, or to be restrained, or to be suspended, or in fact are to be eliminated. This elimination, restraining, suspension, stopping, blocking, we must be wondering whether so many meanings are there for nirodha. Though nirodha says restraining, but all these meanings can be attributed, will be attributed based on the various layers, based on the various status, based on the various intensity of the vrittis. But finally, it is restraining. Nirodha is also a wonderful word. There are two words. One is rudh and rodha. Rudh means to stop. Rodha means ankur, germinating. Rudh of the rodha, it is not playing with the words, but both the meanings are applicable for this. If you take from the meaning of rudha, it is stopping. Stopping of what? Rodha it is. The germinating. Means the vritti is about to rise in the chitta, and that about to rise is stopped. That about to rise is restrained. That ankura about to germinate, just about to start, that stopped. That is how yoga chitta vritti nirodha is to be understood. A very simple translation of that is, as I said, it is the definition of the yoga, definition of the yoga practices, but we should be very clear. The simple meaning is, it is a complete cessation, complete elimination, complete stop of all the functional modifications of the chitta, means restraining the modifications of the mind. That is the meaning and definition of yoga. And the third sutra is furthermore very interesting and very elaborate to understand this particular sutra, a continuity of this second sutra. Let us see that. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.